let's talk about some very common English expressions that you should know. That's coming up. Hey everyone, my name is Wes from Interactive English, and the channel, it's all about helping you practice and improve your English so that you can achieve fluency. And today I want to talk to you about 25 very common phrases that you will hear people use again and again and again. And these are also phrases that you should also be using over and over because they're just that common. And you may be familiar with many of these phrases already. That's great. But if you're not, this is an excellent way to build your vocabulary. And it's also good for your listening so that you can easily identify them and recognize them if somebody else is saying them. So the first phrase that I have for you, well, this is one that I use all the time. It's just a very simple greeting. A way of saying hello is just, how's it going? How's it going? So I say this when I see other people, how's it going? And notice that how is contracted to how's, and going, you're not really gonna hear that G at the end. It's gonna get dropped. How's it going? How's it going? The next phrase is, well, it's another question. How's that sound? So this is a phrase that you would hear people say if maybe they make a suggestion and they want to know what you think, and I think most of the time they want you to agree. Like, oh, what do you think about that? How's that sound?
You can have the name for $1,000. How's that sound?
Then we have never mind. All right, if somebody says something and maybe they don't want to repeat themselves, or they just they don't want to talk about something anymore, never mind. Speaking of repeating oneself, another common question that somebody may ask, especially if you're somebody who's learning English, if you don't always understand someone, you could just say, could you repeat that? Could you repeat that? If you want to be polite, you can throw a please on the end. Could you repeat that, please? I think personally, if I don't understand someone, and that happens from time to time, I'll usually throw a sorry at the beginning and then say it. I'd say, oh, sorry, could you repeat that? And then they would say it again.
Could you repeat that?
Could you repeat that, please, Peter?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Then we have, what do you mean? All right, this, if you don't understand something that someone is explaining to you, then you could just tell them, what do you mean? If you want to be more specific, and a very common phrase, it's a question, what does mean? If you're talking about a specific word, what does mean? Great question, especially for somebody who's learning English. Because if you don't understand something, I think it's great to always ask like a new word, what does mean?
What does rhetorically mean?
What does ostentatious mean?
What does potential mean?
Then we have the phrase, which is if you meet somebody, where are you from? I ask this to many of you. If I'm communicating with you in the comments, I might ask you, where are you from? And notice when I say that, the you, I'm pronouncing it more with a schwa sound, yeah. When I say it just quickly, where are you from? Next is the phrase, what time is it? I think throughout the day, if you're somebody like me, I don't wear a watch. I might ask another person, especially a friend, somebody I'm with, a colleague, what time is it? The next one is, I was just about to, like you're just about to do something. And I think when you're just talking with somebody else, you could use this, or you may hear it quite often. Again, the to has more of a schwa sound. I was just about to. I was just about to call you. I was just about to leave. You were just about to do something.
I was just about to give up.
I was just about to ask you.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I was just about to head out.
Then we have another great phrase, very common. Thanks so much. And I'm going to actually add a preposition after that. Thanks so much for something, because I think oftentimes people will say why they are thanking someone, and for it can kind of sound like for. So thanks so much for hitting that like button. I hope you hit the like button, or thanks so much for watching this video. Then we have be careful. I think this is something that, well, you're going to hear all the time, and I think you might say it to somebody else. If they're doing something, could be dangerous, be careful. Next, I don't mean to bother you, but And then you would ask a question. So for example, if I have to interrupt someone else and maybe I'm asking directions, maybe I'm asking them, hey, what time is it? I might start out and say that. I don't mean to bother you, but...
Listen, I don't mean to bother you, but I think I may have left my hat in your apartment, so I thought I'd just come by later and pick it up.
I don't mean to bother you, but my name is Lois Griffin.
I don't mean to bother you, but we're big fans of Firefly.
Another common and great phrase, don't worry about it, all right? just don't worry about it, okay? I think you've heard this, you know what it means. Don't worry about it. Now, if you are late to an appointment or a meeting or just to meet a friend, you could tell them, I'm running a little behind. I'm sorry, I'm running a little behind. Another phrase is just telling somebody, I'm pretty busy. I'm pretty busy. So I think it's often used like that instead of just saying I'm busy. You could say that, but I think people will throw pretty in there as well to emphasize that. I'm pretty busy. I'm running a little behind because I'm pretty busy.
I'm pretty busy tonight.
Oh, I don't know, I'm pretty busy. I have to inventory all the giveaways.
If you're not too busy.
I'm pretty busy.
Then we have, I haven't heard about that. So if somebody's talking about something, you have no idea about this thing, you can just tell them, yeah, I haven't heard about that. Next is a question, just who cares? I think this is something that you will use when you are, well, maybe you disagree with someone and you could just tell them, hey, who cares? Next time. That is the next phrase that I want to tell you. And this is one that I use quite often. If I can't do something right now, I just say, next time. And that phrase, it's good to know. That is the other phrase that I wanted to follow up on, and it's just saying, yeah, good to know that if you're getting some new information, hey, it's good to know.
The church will read that as us suing them. So will everybody else. Good to know.
Honestly, you are straight up cursed.
Good to know.
Protect your eyes. She's a gouger.
Good to know.
I'm not dead.
Good to know.
Next is let me know. If you want somebody to reply or tell you something later on, just say, let me know. And keep in mind that let me is connected and just sounds like, let me know. That works. It's a great phrase. I love using it. If you want to agree with someone that you're just saying, okay, that works. Then we have, I have no idea. If somebody is asking you maybe to give them some information and you just don't know, tell them, I have no idea. Then we have the phrase, let me think about that. So again, let me is kind of connected and you can hear that. Let me think about that.
Let me think about that.
Hold on, let me think about that. Yes, that'll work.
Well, let me think about that.
Let me think about that.
Okay.
Then we have this phrase, which I think is great if you are shopping and maybe you don't plan on buying anything and somebody comes over and says, can I help you? You could just tell them, I'm just looking around. I'm just looking around. So it's great if you're out shopping and you don't want to talk to anybody. Maybe you don't want to talk to one of the employees, and you just tell them, hey, I'm just looking around. I'll be there in a second. This is a phrase that I love to use if I'm doing something and I have to go do something else, and I might tell my wife, hey, I'll be there in a second. You could also say, I'll be there in a moment. Either one. Usually I'm definitely not there in a second, and sometimes it takes longer than a moment, but it's just a phrase that I like to use. I'll be there in a second.
I'll be there in a second.
Did you take your brother downstairs? I'll be there in a second. Waitress, I'll be there in a second.
Dinner's ready. I'll be there in a second.
All right, I hope that you recognize and understand all of those phrases because again, these are phrases that you will use over and over and over. And it's not really a problem that you're going to use them again and again because I think they're just very relevant in everyday conversation. If you enjoyed this lesson, please hit that like button. As always, thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next time.